questions for Coach.
Jerry, what's last week been like since the Bama game, going to that Ole Miss game, and just how you guys have dealt with things internally?
Well, I think for us, it's just obviously we had to get that taste out of our mouth. It was probably the worst game that any of us have ever been a part of. It's from a total points loss. I mean, we just didn't have it. I mean, I think it's from the standpoint that we were. The tough part about it was I think we had a great game plan and just kind of spiraled out of control early on for us, and none of us really knew how to stop the bleeding. But we got back to a couple of days of really good practice, really good focus, and I thought our guys were unbelievable. Showed a lot of character to be able to come back the way they did and win that game against a really clean game against Mississippi. I mean, Ole Miss. I mean, I thought they didn't turn the ball over a lot. We didn't turn the ball over a lot. It was a really good game, and our guys competed and made plays at the end. So it just really speaks to their character and who they were and who they are, because it wasn't easy to do. So I'm really proud of them from that standpoint. Now we're here playing against a rival who we haven't beaten in my tenure and haven't beaten in a long time. So it's good timing to get back to being at home. I thought we played them really well at their place. They got a little separation from us there in the second half, kind of some of our own undoing. I thought we missed some opportunities to make the game a little easier for us, but being in the confines of home and should have a bunch of energy in here for us tomorrow night. I'm excited about this game, but it's going to be a tough game. I think Coach Barnes is one of the guys that I really respect in the game of basketball, not just the college game. I think he does it the right way. His guys play extremely hard, and I think that's why they're tough to beat, because you got to find a way to compete for 40 minutes. And I think that if you don't find a way to compete for 40 minutes, they're going to find a way to beat you. So I'm looking for our guys responding to that challenge of doing what we need to do for 40 minutes and try to get probably our biggest win since I've been here.
Liam said he kind of takes this game personal. Do you see a little extra fire with the team because of the in-state rivalry?
Well, I mean, I think for him, he knows that this is probably his last opportunity to beat him, other than maybe getting them in a tournament or something like that. So I just think we've gotten to the point. I mean, we've gotten better at the process of learning how to win and the development that takes. And here we are. I mean, these next 6-7 games for us are a big test for us. Big test to see where we've come with our program. I think we've done it the right way. We've done it with great guys. We've done it with Vanderbilt men, guys that they can come here and be successful in the classroom, but can also compete at a high level on the court. And we haven't compromised that. And I think we've done it with the right guys. I mean, I see guys complaining about NIL numbers from other schools, and we just haven't gotten to that point, and I think that we will. I mean, it's the new world that we live in, but we did it with guys that just want to be here and want this experience of getting a first-class education and playing at the highest level. And I'm proud of that fact, and we need a signature win like this to make it all right. And so I think not only this game, but there's some more games on our schedule down the stretch that could really signal that we're doing it the right way and that we're on the right track.
I was going to ask, last week you mentioned doing it my way, dictatorship, that kind of stuff. Is it more difficult now, you think, to hold guys to a strict standard than maybe when you were in college because of transfer portal and all that kind of thing?
No, I don't think so. I think old-fashioned values still have a place, and they want it and they need it, but it's just it's how can you do it constructively. And I think it's different with every athlete. Everybody's different. Everybody's not able to handle the same thing. So you got to really know your guys, know what buttons need to be pushed with them, and it's not just one of us that understands that. It's our whole staff. I mean, their interactions with our guys on a day-to-day basis, whether it's classes, whether it's meals, all those different things play into us understanding who they are and how we need to motivate them and help get them better and push them to their limits and push them to their potential. And that's what we're here for. We have the coaches, but we're teachers. We're professors here, and I think we do a good job. And like I said, I think our process of learning how to win, our guys have grown in that capacity, and we found out a lot about our personnel as well. We figure out, who's gotten better, and who, which groups of guys and which individuals give us the best chance to win. And you don't just arrive there, because you put a roster on a piece of paper, but you have to develop that and understand it. And I think we're at a good place now in knowing how we need to win, where the ball needs to go, the things that we need to do to give ourselves the best chance to do that.
Is there a better understanding between you and Tyron after the last few days?
I think
even stronger relationship.
No, we had a strong relationship before that. Again, just like Tyron lost his dad. And a lot of the reason that he came to Vanderbilt because I promised him that I would be a father figure to him, and to his mom. So it's not about just what you see a game. It's a lot more than just a damn game. That we're in the business of affecting these guys' lives in a lot of other ways. I'm going to be at Tyron Lawrence's wedding. When he had his first child, we were the ones that was encouraging him and letting him know that we still had his back. That that Adele would change some diapers for him if we needed to. So I think that's what we're about. And he had to learn a tough lesson just from the standpoint that I wanted to know that we demand more from him. I think he has the potential and the talent to play beyond this, but he's never going to get there if he coasts his way into it and he eases his way into it. And maybe it seemed like the untimely situation would have been us playing a top game, but it was the time that was deemed for where he was and what he needed. And I'll continue to do that with other guys throughout our roster. I've done that with other guys throughout our roster. Even though I critique them and I coach them hard, at the same time I tell them I love them. It's not just fluff. If it came down to it and I had to go and do something to protect Tyron Lawrence and his family, that's what I would do. And I think he knows that and he understands that. And it's just sometimes you got to communicate that. And I could probably be better at communicating that as well, with not just him, but other guys on it. But it's only enough hours in the day that we get to spend with him and to pour into him. But he's going to be good, man. I think he's going to be good the rest of this year. He understands what we need from him, how when he's playing at a high level, the difference that it makes in our team, not just on the offensive end, but defensively as well. And I think Jordan, he has to, realize that as well. These guys' windows are getting smaller now. So it's time for us to make that move and win these type of games and go on a nice little stretch the way I feel that we're capable of. There was a lot of teams that's been in our position, said last year that made the tournament. I think St. Peter's come to mind. I think they were probably 11-12, probably right around this time last year, and they found a way to make the tournament. And I'm hoping that we have some of that same type of magic ourselves and be able to push ourselves over the threshold of getting into the postseason again.
Is Jordan?
Is that the message that you tell the team with the 6 or 7 games left in the SEC that you really have a chance here to do something?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think we're always talking about work the game. I thought we worked our schedule. Like I said, talk about what we haven't done, but nobody talks about what we have done. We went out and played probably the toughest schedule to kind of, if it comes down to the margins, that we played the second toughest schedule in the SEC. We played a top 10 schedule nationally, and we didn't shy away from that. And we had opportunities to win a lot of those games. Yeah, it's easy to point to the Alabama game where nothing went well for us, but there was a lot of other games that's been in the balance that I feel that still was kind of self-inflicted that we should have won and probably could put ourselves in a better position than we are now. But we needed those games. It was a part of our process of learning how to win, and we're still doing that. Right? Still figuring out things, not just our players, but coaches, things that we need to focus on and little things that I can do to try to help them understand the importance of each possession. and it's really breaking it down to those more finite components as opposed to just looking at, okay, let's just go win 7 games. It's not about just going winning 7 games. It's about taking care of each possession and focusing on the present moment and trying to do all I can not to let the team down in this one particular possession. And you stack those things and you build those things, and ultimately you can get to that goal of winning games and getting to where you want to be. The score will take care of itself if you do those little things.
Is Jordan going to be available tomorrow?
As far as I know, he's still in the concussion protocol. He's supposed to get a light workout today, see how he responds from that. But I'm pretty sure that if he's any way possible that he can go, he will go. And but if not, then we'll go with what we have.
Talk about the relationship with you guys. Is that something you enjoyed about this job that you wouldn't have if you were coaching pro ball? Something unique to college?
No, I'm a people's person. I enjoyed the guys that I coached at the pro level too. I mean, they're all people. They're not robots. They're not machines, and you have to. It's more about relationships than anything else. We spend a lot of time together. You just see the games. You don't see all the things that go on with them in practices. You don't see all the things that go on them with their personal lives, the things that go on with them, with their classes, the stresses of being at Vanderbilt and attending classes on a day-to-day basis. And we don't miss classes on game day. A lot of places that we go, they're out, even at home. We're not out at home. They go to class today. They go to class tomorrow before their games. And we did some numbers on that. It's crazy, the numbers. That kids pay a lot better when we don't have classes, as opposed to when they have to go to class. I mean, the numbers. I think Tyron shoots almost ridiculous, the player that he is when he doesn't have to focus on school as opposed to when he can just go to shoot around and come to the game. So those things are part of the challenge, part of the adversity that's part of who we are, that we don't run from, that we embrace. But I think those are, it builds who we are. We know who we are. And again, there's always going to be some external noise. And that's just part of it, newspapers and all things, they're in a tough spot right now. And so, it's much better to sell those stories and having me, every picture that you put in the paper that I'm frowning. I don't frown. I smile. I got a pretty smile. You know what I'm saying? So you can, that sensationalism that you try to use to sell, it's not who we are. It's not what we're about. These kids are happy. They understand. They learn the game of basketball. We've gotten better no matter what our record might show. The guys that have been in this program have gotten better, and they'll tell you so, and I think they have told you so plenty of times. My staff works their ass off to help these guys get better, and we're proud of where we are now. We're just at a pivotal point to where we really need to showcase it coming down the stretch.
By the looks of it, Isaiah West seems to be kind of back to full health and is really coming into himself. What have you seen from him recently?
No, he's good. He was at the game the other night. He looks good. He's back healthy. I've been watching all of the highlights of it, and just again, the talent level that we continue to bring in here. I mean, we haven't gotten it right. I'm saying you can't get it right when you where we were and in the positions that we were in. Guy got a 3.4 and can do anything. I got to take a hard look at him, but I think and we made some mistakes. Not necessarily with the people. We love some of the guys, but they just weren't this level. Right? I mean, and that's the reality of it, and it's going to be the same again. I mean, it's some guys that had to come to this level and figure out that maybe if I go down the level, I can do better. And I think that we had to have those tough conversations. And this kid that I'm watching from afar right now, I love this kid. I mean, Gabe Dorsey, what he's doing now at William & Mary. I think he's one of the top 3-point shooters in the country. It just didn't click for him here. So it's about finding those right guys, and we'll continue to do that. But Isaiah West, Jaqueline Roberts, and Carter Lang, those guys that will be coming in here next year, they're serious dudes too, and I think that really bodes well for coming in here and having a seamless transition into what we do. And like I said, we've gotten guys that hadn't been the case, to where their immaturity and different things like that is something that we had to spend more time trying to improve as opposed to just their basketball games. But that's part of our charge, and we accept that wholeheartedly. But I just hope whether a guy stays in our program or he leaves, that that he left better than what he came in, and I think that we do a good job at that.
Isaiah seems like kind of a mix maybe of your current guards, maybe Paul Lewis, Noah Shelby. How would you kind of evaluate, maybe compare him to some of your other guards?
I mean, he's really been. I mean, I think Isaiah's really been handling the ball really well. He's really been distributing. I looked at him more probably as a 2 guard, more of a combo guard. But man, you know, I think when you watch him, he's been the best player on the floor, and he doesn't have to do it by scoring. It's just his presence. Sometimes it's on the defensive end, or if it's making plays for others. He's shown the willingness. But like I said, but just talking to him, you know, he's not a. Again, like I said, it's just this new generation is just about me. Look at me. I mean, and I just have to accept it sometimes. They're going to do the 3 to head. They're going to do the 2 little. It's just part of it. But he's not one of those guys. You know what I'm saying? There's some other guys that we're recruiting that have that same approach. That every time they do something, it's not about me. Coach Smith used to make us point at the other guy. Right, just to show everybody in the stands that it's not about me, but it's about the other guy that made the play. I might have to get back to that, but I think it would be good for the game. But it's just we have to adjust with the times too. I mean, these kids are super smart. They're a lot smarter than I am, but I think I got them beat in 2 categories, and that's knowing basketball and knowing a little bit more about life. So I'm going to continue to impart what I know in that aspect, but continue to do what we need to do. And Isaiah and those guys are going to continue that tradition.
Thanks, man.